Good evening, and welcome to our May General Membership Meeting. I wish we were all together tonight to celebrate our shared accomplishments, welcome in new active and provisional members, and transition the League's leadership. However, like the last 2 months, we have learned to adapt and move forward during this time. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Knowing that the May General Membership Meeting tends to be one of our most popular meetings, I'm hopeful that more members than ever will take a moment to watch what we have created for you tonight. This may be your first meeting in several years or decades, and we welcome you. I hope you, like me, are wearing your very best, which these days means business on the top and quarantine on the bottom. If you're watching this sometime after Tuesday at 6 p.m., now is your time to hit pause, grab a snack, and settle in because we have so much to share. To begin, I'm excited to welcome Kelly Hilgenfeld, the current Provisional Admissions and Training Chair. Take it away, Kelly.
Thank you, Mandy. I am thrilled to welcome the 2019-2020 provisional class to active member status effective June 1st. These women have worked hard this year to learn about JLOC's history, understand how the organization runs, and serve our community through their provisional project. The provisional project this year was car seat events at Infant Crisis Services. The provisionals put together car seats, entertained the children, filled out paperwork, and did anything else needed of them. With the help of the provisionals, Infant Crisis Services was able to provide over 550 car seats to families in the greater OKC area. And though their year did not wrap up the way that we had intended, I can assure you that these women are ready to start their service. All their training and preparation has readied them to fulfill our mission to building a better Oklahoma City. I am so proud of the provisionals, and I'm excited to see the impact that they will make on JLOC and the OKC community. Please join me in celebrating the following list of women. On behalf of Tracy Samard, PAT Vice Chair, I extend a heartfelt welcome to the following women who will join Junior League of Oklahoma City as provisionals of the 2020-2021 year. We are so ready to have you a part of JLOC.
Thanks, Kelly, and congratulations to our new active members and welcome to our new provisionals. We are lucky to have you. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I am pleased to acknowledge our members who have reached milestones in their years of service to the League. It's always the hope that each of us will be a Leaguer for life, and the women scrolling now have reached significant milestones on that journey. Congratulations to each of these members for their dedication and service to JLOC and Oklahoma City. I'm also thrilled, and not just because I'm one of them, to celebrate the women who will become sustaining members as of June 1, 2020. Ladies, thank you for your service. Your journey of being a leaguer for life is truly just beginning, and we are grateful for your continued membership. Now, this year was the second year of JLOC's Leadership Institute. The Institute is a year-long program where a cohort of women attend monthly trainings that deepen their personal development and prepare them for leadership in and outside of the league. Congratulations to the following women on their graduation from Class 2 of the Leadership Institute. This year's board of directors represented in total 131 years of service to JLOC. The women we celebrate and thank tonight have worked hard and tackled important issues, and I couldn't have picked a better pack of stone-cold smarties to serve alongside. This team has always known that business comes first. They asked hard questions, carefully thought through the many issues we tackled, and were respectful of the variety of perspectives and opinions shared. And through all the business, we also managed to have fun and enjoy each other's company. However, as Billy Joel sings in Say Goodbye to Hollywood, life is a series of hellos and goodbyes. The time has come for us to say thank you and goodbye to this year's board and welcome next year's team. Jenna North is my hero and also my chief of staff. I jokingly take all the credit for Jenna's leadership in the league because I was her PAT advisor. But really, Jenna should take credit for me because I would be lost without her. She's organized, honest, and intentional with her words. There's so many details that require attention throughout the year that without Jenna, they would have gone unnoticed and unresolved. I'm deeply grateful for her work in organizing dozens of transition meetings, jam sessions, training events, board activities, and our retreat. Jenna, you have more than earned your sabbatical, my friend. Enjoy it. Thank you, Jenna North, and welcome Rachel Henderson as Chief of Staff. Lori Mayhew served as this year's Administrative Vice President. This role has changed to that of an executive rather than a day-to-day manager, and Lori tackled it with ease, confidence, and adaptability. Lori played the most critical role of taking minutes for all board meetings, HR, and executive committee meetings, as well as general membership meetings. Keeping the official record of our business is the most important role on the board. She kept me on task, making sure we didn't leave any old business hanging unresolved. Lori also quickly adapted to this new world of virtual meetings and voting without missing a beat. On a personal note, Lori and I got to know each other quickly and well as roomies on our board retreat. I'll share a room with you anytime, my friend. Thank you, Lori Mayhew, and welcome Anastasia Svek as Administrative Vice President. Bria Hanlon served as Bylaws Chair and tackled the massive job of reformatting our policies and procedures. She spent hours making this document something that would be more user-friendly for members, and I'm certain those of you, and I'm looking at everyone here, who rely on this tool will find that it's so much easier to navigate. Bria always brought thoughtful perspectives to HR committee discussions as well as to the board. She kept us on time, on topic, and always had a funny story to share. Finding someone who is the perfect mix of silly and serious isn't easy, and Bria does it flawlessly. Thank you, Bria Hanlon, and welcome Angie Huffaker as Bylaws Chair. I'm pretty sure the board member I spent the most time with this year, other than Leslie, was Suzanne Singletary. From the beginning, Suze was a leader and partner in finding new ways to generate enthusiasm for all things JLOC. She was the champion of the Mandy Minute. She should win all the awards for how she has evolved the JLOC and Me weekly email into the most valuable communications vehicle we have. Suze led the effort to publish an annual report that could be used as a tool with our partners and Oklahoma City thought leaders. She led many trainings with groups and individuals to prepare them for on-camera interviews. Her foresight for knowing the power of video has led to the creation of videos that support our recruitment efforts and promote our new signature project. Suze's fingerprint is on everything you see coming out of the league. We were fortunate to have our own one-woman professional PR team this year. I quickly learned that when Suze had an idea to say, "Where do you want me?" because her instincts are laser sharp and she operates as a true strategist who also knows the importance of authenticity. Suze, you have done a million things, big and small, to serve JLOC this year, and we are better for it. Thank you, Suzanne Singletary, and welcome Julia Dane as Communications Vice President. With the piloting of Project Empower, our new signature community project, it was more important than ever that this year's Community VP be someone who could lead the team through this transition period. Adrienne Nobles was the perfect person to serve in this role. Her vast knowledge of Oklahoma City's nonprofit community and her professional background in communications provided the right ingredients to think creatively about the future and about developing strategic opportunities for collaboration. Adrienne is someone whose feedback on our strategic plan has been essential. The breadth of her league knowledge is wide, having previously served as Communications VP, Membership VP, and Nominating Chair. Few people are as acutely aware of our challenges and opportunities as Adrienne. The league is lucky that Adrienne is the kind of leader who serves where she is called and gives everything she has to ensuring the league experiences continued growth and success. Adrienne, we started this journey together more than 12 years ago, and we are ending it together. From one Catwoman to another, I say cheers, my friend. Thank you to Adrienne Nobles, and welcome to Katherine Chandler as Community Vice President. No one could have launched the new Education and Development Council better than Alexis Lux. She led a team of some of the league's most seasoned volunteers, and they really hit it out of the park. Doing something for the first time can be a daunting task, but Lexi did what leaders do, which is give her team the tools to be successful and then let them run. Under her leadership, 69 events were held this year, which is more than one training per week, and they still had 3 months to go before we changed course due to COVID-19. This team has increased the capacity of our volunteers and has highlighted how much stronger we are when we invest in and promote the development of our members. I'm so grateful to Lexi for her straightforward, no-nonsense approach to serving and for her wonderful friendship. Thank you, Alexis Lux, and welcome Ashley Rivers as Education and Development Vice President. Anne Richard Farina was the one person on the board this year who I didn't know at all and who I'm now thankful to count as a friend. Anne was a true guardian of our finances who made sure everyone understood their fiscal responsibilities in order to be good stewards of our budget. Anne partnered with Kellyanne and Helen on improving many of our financial processes to improve service to members. This year's team evaluated several financial issues around new fundraisers and headquarters projects. Anne had a way of presenting these with clarity and made it easy to understand financial impacts, both short and long term, so that the board could make educated decisions. Much of the financial VP's work is with the headquarters team and her committee, so a lot of it goes unnoticed. But considering how healthy our finances are and how important that is as we weather uncertain times, it's clear that Anne worked hard to safeguard our financials and prepare us for long-term fiscal strength. I'm grateful for your service and your friendship, Anne. Thank you, Anne Richard Farina, and welcome Candace Beatty as Financial Vice President. Angie, you are truly the MVP this year. I'm pretty sure you win the award also for most policy updates. But that's not even close to the most exciting accomplishment of the year. You led a team that had fundraising success across several events. Mistletoe Market and our annual campaign both significantly exceeded their goals. You inspired the board of directors to reach nearly 100% giving and to use that money to challenge our membership, a challenge our members blew out of the water. You did a remarkable job helping the Legacy and Legends team navigate a reimagined event, and you helped create infrastructure for continuing Whale of a Sail. It's hard to see those events be postponed, but both events have in place the bones they need to be successful next year. You are the kind of leader that not only cares that something gets done, you care how it gets done. The league has its work cut out for it when it comes to building a culture of philanthropy, but you have made incredible strides in putting the right programs in place so we continue building support for our community and education initiatives. Thank you, Angie Huffaker, and welcome Hillary Ashton as Fundraising Vice President. Tackling bylaws amendments is no small feat, and Lindsay Riddell was up for the challenge. Lindsay came out swinging in the summer and again this spring, working to ensure we retained as many members as possible. She then jumped headfirst into leading the effort to establish new membership accountability standards that membership approved in the fall. This is a significant accomplishment because it says that membership in JLOC means something and that we need a minimum level of engagement from our members to ensure they are informed, trained, and prepared to meet our community's ever-changing needs. Lindsay is someone who clearly and compassionately shares her unique and thoughtful perspective during hard discussions. There was so much work done this year, not just to approve new changes, but to implement the many processes required to roll out those changes. For all the work we saw you do and the many things we know you did that went unnoticed, thank you, Lindsay. You have taken great care of our members this year. Thank you, Lindsay Riddell, and welcome Kelly Hilgenfeld as Membership Vice President. The secret to Natalie Fix's success is that she always has snacks and that she always asks questions. These are two essential qualities of a great nominating chair. Natalie led a team that, for the second year, conducted interviews with every PEE and board member candidate to evaluate who had the right mix of core competencies and vision to serve this next year. Natalie and her team also established a new tradition by appointing the president-elect earlier than years past. Nominating is the most important role to the league's future, and we are in good hands thanks to the work of Natalie and her team. Thank you, Natalie Fix, and welcome Jamie Manolis as nominating chair. I first met Ann Clore at the PEE Welcome Celebration. It was suggested to me by one of my league mentors that I ask her to be my sustaining advisor. I've always used the sustaining advisor role as an opportunity to meet amazing women whose paths I might otherwise not cross. Ann Clore seriously considered my invitation and asked lots of questions about my vision for the year. I love this quality about Ann Clore because it was a peek into her approach to serving, which is to ask smart questions so she has all the information to seriously consider any issue in front of her. I was lucky to have such a supportive and considerate advisor this year. But Ann Clore wasn't just there for my support. She forged a relationship with everyone on our board. She encouraged me to mix up our seating arrangement each meeting so we could get to know each other and not fall into ruts. And Ann Clore made hundreds of calls and sent dozens of texts to sustaining members to ensure that they renewed their membership both at the beginning of this year and at the end. Ann Clore was the first person to grab one of the bound annual reports to research our history so it could inform our decisions at meetings. She was the perfect protector of our past and champion of our future. I adore you, Ann Clore. Thank you, Ann Clore Duncan, and welcome Margaret Hogue as sustaining advisor. I was lucky to be the cream of a Pam Campbell and Leslie Cole Mossman presidential cookie sandwich. Losing Pam as my work wife was only made easier knowing that Leslie would take her place. And serving with Leslie has made all the meetings, travel, and phone calls so much easier and a lot more fun. She has been a true partner and friend. Knowing what she thinks about an issue and walking through all possibilities together helped to make sure the issues we tackled and decisions we made would help move our strategic goals forward for this year and beyond. Leslie was the right partner to continue developing a culture amongst the boards that we are building on the work of the previous year and operating under a shared multi-year plan. It's been our year from the start. You all are so lucky to have Leslie as your next president. And Leslie, I wouldn't want to be memorialized in a brick courtyard next to anyone else but you. Thank you, Leslie Cole Mossman, and welcome Ann Richard Farina. Now is the time I have been looking forward to the most, the first spouse's remarks. Please welcome my husband, Rob Vera.
Greetings, Junior League of Oklahoma City. My name is Rob Vera, aka Mr. Mandy Heaps. And under normal circumstances, I'd be setting up my speech with a witty, off-the-cuff anecdote about my wife, partner, and best friend. But given I've got 3 minutes, I'll have to adjust. Adjustment is the challenge of our time, after all. Now, I could speak extemporaneously about Mandy, but she and I both know that I can't stick to 3 minutes without prepared remarks. It was supposed to be different, but I'll manage. If there's any concept that tints the way we view the world at the moment, supposed to be would be a prime contender. I've known about Mandy's love and genuine passion for the Junior League for as long as I've known her. So over time, I've become pretty familiar as Junior League partners go with all that entails. And so I had expectations about what her term as president would be like, and it was supposed to be something quite different to this. I'm sure we think that about a lot of things these days, but I think this time is also helping us to truly appreciate the things in our lives that matter most. How many things in our life do we truly give ourselves over to? Giving of herself to the league is an instinctual thing for Mandy, and it seemed to me like it was leading up to a specific version of her dream of being your president and all that comes with it. The projects, the meetings, the initiatives, the events, the travel. It was supposed to be a certain way, but then it wasn't. And yet, over the course of this year, and these last few months especially, I've watched Mandy take "it was supposed to be" and do something that truly exceptional leaders do: adjust and excel. Now, I'm not saying it's necessarily easy to lead during the good times when things go to plan, but leading in times that go beyond uncertainty and into genuine adversity, in times where it's about leading through something as opposed to simply towards something, takes a special kind of person. In a world where we've all lost and mourned for things, especially the things that didn't go to plan, Mandy never stopped working for you. She has resolved each day to lead the league she cherishes with focus, conviction, and a lot of love. She found a way when a way needed finding and stepped up to be the president that this moment required. Exactly when you needed it, exactly how you needed it. And I know so many of you responded to these unique challenges in kind. Mandy's term was supposed to be something else, but it ended up being something so much more. It was truly a moment where a special level of character was revealed, and that is an awesome thing to witness. This organization has been led for years by phenomenal women, but, and I'm biased, this year and this league required an exceptional woman as your leader. We learn more with each passing day that times like these require something more from those who lead us. And we also learn not to take the people who rise to such challenges for granted. Here's to Mandy, a woman I love deeply and who I'm honored to call my wife and my best friend. I am so proud of her for being the president of the Junior League of Oklahoma City, and I have no doubt you are better for having had her as your leader as well. My best wishes to Leslie, her husband Sean, as well as to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. I love you. It's hard to believe we are at the finish line when it feels like we just started. We're certainly wrapping up this year in a place and under circumstances I could have never anticipated. But I want to begin the way I started, with gratitude. I am thankful for everything the league has given me these past 12 years. I have learned best practices, made mistakes, met wonderful friends, and learned to seek out different personalities and viewpoints. The league has been a safe port during hard personal times, and it's been a place where I could invest and grow skills I wasn't using at work. So to the league and every human who makes up its beautiful existence, thank you. I have loved serving you this year. Thank you, Rob. No one shows up for the people they love more than you. I am lucky to be one of those people. For the entirety of our marriage, I've been running around with tons of extracurriculars, and today I'm looking forward to what the future holds for us. Thank you, Kellyanne and Helen, sometimes lovingly referred to as Hellian. JLOC is beyond lucky to have such dedicated and intelligent professionals on its side. You have both been teachers and teammates for me this year. Much of the league's success year after year is because of the consistency you bring to running the league. And specifically this year, you helped the board approve new processes and tools that better serve our members as well as improve efficiencies in the office. Thank you for laughing with me, and thank you for your commitment to the league. I will miss you both. I have been fortunate to work for an employer that encourages volunteer service and work-life balance. I'm grateful to Kirk Jewell, who just retired from the OSU Foundation, for creating a culture that has allowed me to serve JLOC to the level I have. And I'm even more thankful to my dear friend and boss, Amanda Davis, for supporting me on this journey and helping me juggle 2 full-time jobs. Now, the best and the worst thing about this job is that it has to end. That might sound a little crazy, so let me explain. Knowing that the presidency has a finish line is the best thing because it clearly defines the amount of time you have to complete your work and move the needle. And I couldn't be more proud of where we are finishing. I shared a lot about our accomplishments this year when we transitioned the board, and I've saved one of our most significant accomplishments for last. This spring, the Board of Directors approved the establishment of Junior League of Oklahoma City's core values. The purpose of these values is to work hand in hand with the mission and vision of our organization to define the why behind all the things we do. Values illustrate how you do your work. So when we create new membership obligations, for example, it's not because we want to give you more boxes to check, it's because we value accountability. Values communicate a higher purpose and inspire a greater level of dedication to accomplishing the work of the organization to move it forward for the future. After several hours of deliberation with both the current and incoming boards, taking hundreds of words down to a list of 18, we settled on 5 words and drafted short descriptions of each value. I'm pleased to present JLOC's core values. First is integrity, commit to doing what's right. Connection, invest in each other and the community. Accountability, own our responsibilities and exceed expectations. Respect, honor others and ourselves. And excellence, go above and beyond in all we do. To easily learn and recall these values, we ordered them to create the acronym I CARE. Kind of perfect, isn't it? What I appreciate the most about these values is they apply both to our history and our future. Without naming them, these were characteristics of the work we have been doing since the 20s. And 92 years later, they are still qualities we aspire to develop and bring out in our members. And that's the point of having values. They aren't something you accomplish or something that you complete in a year. These values will continue to be the drivers of how we recruit new members, how we develop the potential of our volunteers, how we create community change, and how we conduct ourselves as women and leaders throughout all aspects of our lives. I hope at least one or more of these values resonates with you and your JLOC experience. You will be seeing much more about them in the coming year. As I said before, the best and worst thing about this job is that it has to end. Saying goodbye is so hard because I have loved being your president. And I feel like I should be leaving you with some Pulitzer Prize winning words of advice. And if you were hoping to hear words of wisdom, you might be a little disappointed as I wrap up, because the more experienced I get, the more I realize I don't know much at all. But I will leave you with 2 things. One of which I have just come to realize, and the other I've known to be true for a long time. First, this time of quarantining and sheltering in place has shown me that we need people. And I'm an introvert, so you know I mean it when I say we need each other to survive. And our community needs people to serve. If you ever question why we do what we do at the League, it's because we benefit from our connection to each other, and Oklahoma City is better because this beautiful community of leaders is there to serve its most critical needs. Which brings me to my other point. Show up. Whatever you commit to in life, personally or professionally, be there and do what you promise to do. Incredible things happen when we pull together and each of us are playing our part. It's part of the magic that makes the Junior League work. Thank you for an unforgettable experience. Now, I am pleased to present to you the 2020-2021 President, Leslie Cole Mossman.
Good evening, ladies. Since the night I got the call from the nominating committee and accepted this presidency, I have been thinking about my message to you. I considered what quotes I might use and what real-world anecdotes I could delight a live audience with. I pictured myself at the podium in a meticulously stylish dress and a fresh blowout from the salon. I would be the perfect combination of authenticity and inspiration. You would laugh at my mom jokes and nod your heads as we came together to rally the collective vision of how JLOC would support OKC in the most meaningful ways during the next year. And now here we are. It's not that those daydreams were dashed. It's just those thoughts seem ridiculous now, for reasons you all intimately understand. I think many of you know that I'm a small business owner, and honestly, saving my business and preserving my family has taken priority over the past weeks. Worst of all, and I'll admit this to you, I feel like I have minimally considered JLOC during the pandemic. I've put in the smallest amount of effort possible for a multitude of reasons. Where should I start? I felt overwhelmed by anxiety. I felt overworked and haven't had the energy or drive to juggle it all. I've felt anger towards this pandemic for messing up my perfect plan. I have felt sorry for myself. I felt guilt for feeling sorry for myself because my family is working and surviving while others are not. I felt disappointment because the path isn't clear and I don't have all the answers. How's my speech going so far? I mean, I know I'm really delivering some inspiring stuff here, right? So how do I turn it all around? How do we move forward? Am I even emotionally capable to lead this organization? Legitimately, I was asking myself these questions every single day. And that's when I knew it was time to find the light. I remember as a child, my mom would tell me, usually after a tantrum or pouting session, to go to my room and not come out until I was happy. As a mother, I have used that line more times than I can count. But my point is, her logic is not just applicable to small children. It applies to me right where I am today. Be productive and take a step forward. Be mentally and physically strong. Be motivated. Be a leader today, right now. So as we do in these modern times of need, I turn to the great prophet Brené Brown. Brené says, the more expectations you have, the less gratitude you'll have. There we go. Brené always gets me. Living in gratitude is a daily practice, and it's hard. But when I'm in constant practice, I'm a better, more productive person. And that's when I realized I was feeling sorry about my unfulfilled dreams. But I realized it's not dreams that were crushed, it was my expectations. And if I let go of my expectations, I can find the gratitude I had so desperately lost. And let's be honest, who can have expectations right now? What control do we really have? I can't control what's happening in our world and communities, but I can control how I feel about my life and what impact I can have on our world and our community. I feel gratitude for a warm house, food on the table, and a loving family. I feel grateful I'm in a position to help vulnerable people in our community. For me, this was the reset I needed. So let's talk about you in JLOC. I'll be really honest, I don't know what this year will bring. But I do know Junior League women excel in crisis situations. And working in the philosophy of gratitude, I feel grateful for an ability to work alongside JLOC women who are always inspired to help those who need it. We've exhausted our bodies rebuilding the OKZU playground. We've grown our hearts by helping children shop for back-to-school necessities at the Remarkable Shop. We've helped hundreds of families by installing free car seats at infant crisis services. Our dedication to OKC is endless. For the rest of my life, I will be grateful for those opportunities and proud of the work JLOC women do every day. The great human rights leader Coretta Scott King said, "The greatness of a community is most accurately measured by the compassionate actions of its members." I've spent considerable time this past year learning about how JLOC members rallied to support OKC in the aftermath of the Murrah building bombing. Within hours of the bombing, our members collected monetary donations, organized volunteers, and supported our community during its greatest need. Our members were integral in the rebuilding of our city by sitting on various committees and task forces. Their voices, their actions, and most of all, their compassion were invaluable. While nothing is comparable to that tragedy, we do find ourselves in a time of great uncertainty. What must not be uncertain is our collective compassion. I'm asking you to join me in a simple commitment this year. Let go of expectations and have compassion. I'm asking you to have compassion for Oklahoma City, for your fellow JLOC members, and for yourself. Let us work together to figure out what exactly is needed in real time and give grace when things don't go exactly as we anticipate. Let us consider every point of view and always put ourselves in someone else's shoes. Let us listen not to respond, but to understand. And when the time is right, let's give each other so many hugs and high fives. Most of all, let us be the backbone that Oklahoma City knows we are. For over 90 years, we have been women changemakers in OKC, and a pandemic won't stop that. In closing, I'd like to acknowledge that I did not get here on my own. I have many people to thank. I have been privileged to serve with dozens of women on various projects and boards over the year. Thank you to those women for their friendship and inspiration. Driven women working together can do anything. I am also grateful to many leaders within JLOC who inspired, trained, and encouraged me. Thank you to Sarah Sweet for giving me a seat at the table and being a servant leader every day. Thank you to Christy Leonard for teaching me how to be a quiet leader and consider every angle. Thank you to Pam Campbell for showing me how dreaming is also a form of planning. You helped me endlessly as I started this journey, and I am always grateful for your friendship and mentoring. Thank you to President Mandy Heaps for an intense year of training and honest conversations. Most of all, I'm thankful for our friendship and laughter. You'll be my adopted sister forever. Thank you to the incoming board for your patience and curiosity. This has not been a traditional transition process, but you've embraced the changes willingly and enthusiastically. You are wonderful women, and together we'll tackle this upcoming year with grace and gusto. Most of all, my dedication to JLOC would not be possible without support and love from my family. For over 20 years, yes, 20 years, my husband Sean has championed my goals. He often personally sacrifices his time so I can spend time at JLOC. Sean, you are an outstanding partner, and I love you. To my girls, Kate and Perry, being a woman today is complicated. You see me trying to balance it all every day. Some days I succeed and some days I fail. My hope is you will see hard work, compassion, and collaboration will help you achieve your goals. I hope I am teaching you how to go out and truly make this world a better place. I know you can do it, and I love you both endlessly. Again, I am so honored to serve as your president. Truly, I don't think any words I use would adequately describe how I feel, not just in this moment, but since I received that one life-changing call. I promise you I will work tirelessly for you this year and do the best job I can to be your champion for our organization and our community. And I know you'll do the same because we're walking together with boundless compassion and zero expectations. Thank you all, and I'll see you soon. Good night.